Right, let's get back to the football, shall we? Yesterday, we reported that Rosenior was the leading candidate to take over at Chelsea as they continued their search for a new head coach. Today, Rosenior's current team, Strasbourg, were in action in Ligue 1. Our reporter Gary Cottrell was there for us, taking on Nice in France's top division. Hi there, Gary. Good evening to you. So Rosenior was in the dugout for Strasbourg's draw with Nice. But of course, you'd imagine that talk in the post-match news conference would have been dominated by his future. So what did he have to say?
Yeah, you're right, it was, and he took lots of questions about his future. Listen, if he wants to be a successful Chelsea head coach, he's going to have to win games, win trophies, bring through youngsters, improve youngsters, and deal with tough media nights. The world focus is on Chelsea, of course, unlike the current job he's got at Strasbourg. And actually, he handled it all really well. He was open to all questions, played a straight bat in most of them. He said, look, I haven't discussed anything with the Chelsea hierarchy about specifically the Chelsea head coach job. But he says, of course, our sister club are looking for a head coach. If something happens, it happens. But he confirmed again his desire to work at the very top in football, and that means working in the Premier League. Obviously, you talk all the time to sporting directors at Chelsea because of the relationships. What are the talks specifically about you potentially becoming Chelsea head coach been like? What have you discussed as far as that's concerned?
I haven't discussed anything at this point. I know that they're looking for a manager. Obviously, it's our sister club. Other than that, I really want to focus on this club because, Gary, this club has given me so much, so many good memories, so many good times. The players, the fans, it's a great city. I don't think it's respectful to talk about anything else straight after a game that we've drawn. Like I said before, if something happens, it happens. At the moment, nothing's happened.
Rosenior, Chelsea head coach, sounds nice, doesn't it?
Rosenior, Strasbourg manager, sounds nice as well. I know that there's lots of speculation. I'd have to be an alien not to know.
Just a final one from me. Obviously, you've got some time off, I imagine, as discussed, no game now for a week. Could we see you at the Etihad on Sunday night from the stands watching Chelsea?
There's no plans to be there.
Craven Cottage on Wednesday?
There's no plans to be there.
The Valley next weekend?
Who knows?
The Arsenal semi-final in 10 days?
Who knows?
Liam, est-ce que tu peux nous dire si tu t'es déjà projeté sur le match contre Avanches?
Are you already thinking about the game in French Cup against Stamford?
For sure. My job is here.
No plans to be there, no plans to be there. Changed, didn't it, to who knows and who knows when it came to the FA Cup next weekend and that Carabao Cup semi-final in 10 days' time. So the mood music here is that he is very much top of the list and potentially the new head coach at Chelsea. There was a feeling of goodbye as he hugged every single coach, every single player on the pitch at the end of the game. Went over as well and waved to the 300 or so Strasbourg fans. They haven't got anything to do as far as Strasbourg is concerned tomorrow. They got tomorrow and Monday morning off. He's due at training at Strasbourg on Monday afternoon. Will he be there?
That is the big question. Gary, thank you very much indeed.
Well, Callum, thanks so much for joining us and what I'm sure has been a real whirlwind of a few days. Can we just start with that? Talk me through what it's been like for you in the last 48, 24 hours.
Yes, probably been 24 hours since we found out that the manager had left and that we would be, the 21 staff would be supporting the first team in the fixture on Sunday. So, yeah, a lot to get your head around. But ultimately, it's a big game, obviously, a massive game against great opposition, but you just do what you do normally and act the way you do normally and just try and make it as normal as possible.
So we're speaking now on Friday afternoon, so you're saying Thursday was when you got the call, and was that the same call about Enzo leaving and you being brought in? And who was it that you spoke to?
So I spoke to the sporting directors. They asked me to come in. They'd explained that the manager had left and that the plan was for me to take the game on Sunday. So I came in, met with them. They kind of laid out the plan over the next 2 or 3 days, what it's going to look like, what the challenges may be, and to start planning for that game on Sunday.
So you weren't due to be at Cobham?
No, I was out. No,
You were out and about.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So what's your relationship with them like? I'm sure as under-21s coach, you have a pretty close relationship with the hierarchy. What's that like? Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's brilliant. They're so supportive of the academy. There's a massive, I've only been here 6 months, but for the whole 6 months, you felt the first team presence in the academy. When we're playing games, when we're training, the support from the directors and all the staff here, first team manager, coaches, is massive. Like the lads are always over there training. So you can feel a real togetherness.
For fans that don't know you, and you are set to take on one of the biggest matches of the season against Manchester City, tell us a bit about yourself and your background. And you just mentioned being here for 6 months, so a bit about how you've ended up here today.
Yep, so I've been here for 6 months as the 21s coach. I was previously the 21s coach at Southampton and the 18s coach. Before that, I was at Manchester City. And I've worked at loads of different clubs, Crystal Palace, Fulham. I was in Norway for a few years, actually working at a top flight club there called Tromsø. So yeah, a wide array of experiences, but thoroughly enjoying my time at Chelsea.
And you've just taken your first training session,
Yeah.
I presume, with the first team. How was that? How were the players?
Yeah, they've been brilliant. It's obviously a difficult time with the manager leaving, and they've been really successful. So it was a little bit out of the blue for some of them maybe, but having worked in football as long as I have and as long as these guys have played, we know it's a part of it, and they've been super professional. The energy and the enthusiasm has been top. The training was brilliant today. Really enjoyed the work we've done, and hopefully we can continue that till Sunday.
Was there an element of surprise? Because you just mentioned it there will be some shock on the behalf of the players. And I think if we look back at Enzo Maresca's tenure, only in November he was manager of the month, and there's been so many positives from that. So do you think there was a shock at how quickly it all unfolded, both from you but also the players as well?
Yeah, I think it's always, you never know what's going to happen, do you? We know it's a part of football, especially in management. We know this can always happen, but definitely a little bit of a shock. But the biggest thing about football is you just have to be adaptable all the time, and things change consistently. So the players have to be adaptable, we have to be adaptable, and we have to move on quickly. What's
the communication been like with the players? Who's been their go-to, I suppose, for information and to communicate?
Yeah, so they have a leadership group. Reece is obviously the captain, so he's been brilliant. He's been really on the front foot, making sure that everything's right and we're ready to play on Sunday. I've had constant dialogue with him and some of the other more senior players in the group. So yeah, I would say that the dialogue has been really good, and they've been really focused on what we have to do over the next few days.
And have they had a meeting as well with anyone internally, anyone in the hierarchy here?
Yeah, so they were off yesterday, so the information would have been given to them in different ways, but they were all back in today. So we had a meeting in the morning with the sporting directors just to explain, just to touch on what's happened, what it's going to look like moving forward, and what the plan is longer term, which was all done this morning with the whole group.
Was that quite an informal setting? Were they able to ask questions and things like that?
It was just a really quick meeting, just to be really blunt and highlight what's happening, what's happened and what's happening moving forward.
Before we have a look at what's to come and for you as well at the weekend, what would your message be to fans at the moment? Because you know what it's like, you're a football fan yourself, you have so much investment in the club that you support, and there is a bit of instability. What would your message to them be at this time?
I think we need your support. The players need your support, the staff need your support. We know what this group of players can do. We've had some amazing performances in the last year to 18 months, some big results against big teams. We're going to need that again on Sunday. And yeah, we just need your support really, and the players are fully focused on putting in the best performance they can on Sunday.
Well, looking ahead, I know there'll be so many names in the media over the next few days, and you're not going to say anything about those names, but what kind of person would you like to see coming in and taking this club?
It's not really my place to say, I don't think. I think that the club have obviously got ideas around how they want to play football and develop players. So I think some of the things that stand out are like the style of football that we want to play, and the way we want to develop young talent is going to be essential for whoever comes in.
And you're obviously a manager that's worked with so much young talent, being in the under-21s coach. What helps Chelsea thrive with that mentality? Because there is such a focus here, isn't there, on the young talent and fostering that and bringing that through.
I think it's a part of the club. Like being an outsider, obviously not working at the club, you see the talent that comes through. You compete against Chelsea sides. It's a massive, massive part of the club, Cobham and the academy, and the fans take massive pride in that. And I think there's a lot more that are going to come through, so we're really excited about that.
And what culture will help a new head coach thrive? What kind of culture is there here?
There's hungry, determined players that have a lot of talent, and we've seen that with some, like we said, winning 2 trophies last year, some of the performances this season, so it's an exciting group of players to work with.
You seem very calm to me, and you've got a big game at the weekend. Do you feel calm?
I do now, yeah. It might change in a few days, but
there's
like
always nerves before these things.
Just try and do the same things I've done for 15, nearly 20 years actually, maybe. I can't even remember, but just do the same things I've done all the time and act the same way.
So what is the approach when you're facing Pep Guardiola's Man City in your first senior professional game? How do you even start to think about and feel about this one?
The same as any other game.
Really?
You have respect for the opposition and the manager. They're a top side. The manager's one of the best that's ever done it. But you prepare the same way. You watch them, you look for areas, you look for your strengths, and you prepare the same as you would any other game.
And you were at City as part of their academy coaching staff, so do you know a bit about the setup there, and does that help at all in terms of this one?
Probably not. I was there for 3 years, working in the academy from 15s to 18s. So I know a lot of the boys that are going to be playing in the game, which will be nice to see them. It's a great club, great academy, great history. But yeah, it doesn't give me any sort of advantage or any know-how. Everyone knows what City do and how good they are.
So what will the next few days look like? Will you have any time to implement anything with the players, or will it very much be similar to what they're used to? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, we had all day yesterday, really. We were here till 11 o'clock at night, just making sure we were prepared for the next 2 days.
Without the players, that was
Without the players, with the staff. So we were here pretty late last night, watched the City game last night, made sure that we had everything prepared really as best we can, what training's going to look like, what the meetings are going to look like, what the game plan's going to be, and these are things that we've had time to prepare yesterday.
I know something Enzo said which was interesting was that all players here are treated the same regardless whether they're World Cup winner, whether they're Cole Palmer, any character. Does that make your life a little bit easier, that there is this culture mentality, that there isn't any egos and they can't be like that? You know, what's your relationship been like with them even in your first training session?
Yeah, it's always difficult. They've had the same coach for 18 months who works a certain way. I'm sure it's not too different how we work, but I didn't feel anything in terms of egos for the players. They just came in, focused, whatever you need us to do, we're going to do to the best of our ability. And it was a really good session today, and I think that sets us up really nicely for tomorrow as well.
And does some of the weekend as well have to be about managing emotions for those players? Yeah,
of course. You're playing a top side, so you're going to have moments where hopefully you're in control, they're in control, and we just have to stick together and make sure that the performance and the group are together at all times.
Finally, just looking ahead to January for Chelsea, I know you don't know at this moment in time how long you're going to be in this position, but it's such a busy month. It's a crucial month, playing across 4 competitions. So what needs to happen in January and what needs to happen from now to give this club the best chance of success?
That's definitely not my place to say, really. My job is to prepare the team on Sunday for a really difficult game, and then moving forward back to that is to continue to improve the under-21s and make sure that they're ready to make the jump into first team football.